Good morning, everyone. It's Lynn Dunn from Stamptastic Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. I know I'm popping on a little bit early, but I do have quite a few things that I want to share with you. So I want to get this in before I have to leave this morning. So, good morning. I am going to be sharing a variety of card ideas featuring the Bright Skies bundle from Stampin' Up. So, this particular bundle looks like this. This is the stamp set. And then there is a coordinating die set that goes with this. And there's a variety of different dies in here that actually cut out some of the shapes on the Sunny Days designer series paper. So that designer series paper is one of the many different products that you can choose for free during Saleabration with a qualifying order. So I'll show you some of the Sunny Days paper. We'll play around with this Bright Skies bundle. And then I have probably six other card ideas that I just want to share with you. I'm not going to be able to walk you through them all today, but I'll share the other ones with you. So, good morning, everybody. Good morning. So, these are the cards, some of the cards that I created with the Bright Skies bundle. And it's just a lot of fun. I mean, I live in Wisconsin, so it's been kind of snowy and a little bit gloomy lately. So, it was kind of fun to just play around with, some springtime card ideas. So, good morning. Good morning. So, these are the two cards that I'm going to walk you through. And then I'll show you some additional card ideas. But I wanted to show you some of the fun things that you can do with this designer paper. So, I cut these clouds out of the designer paper just using one of the stitch dies. So, these clouds have these little stitching all the way around it. And so that's what I used. I used the die to cut those out. But I want to show you some of the designer paper. So this is probably going to be a little bright, but this is the Sunny Days designer series paper. So there are six different patterns here on one side. And then when you flip them over, you have some additional patterns on the back. So this is the paper that I used along with this bundle. And in particular, I kind of focused in on uh, this particular pattern. So you can see it has all these different little cloud shapes in it. And if you open up the dies fit on these different cloud shapes. So there's a couple different ones that you can cut out. Let's see. I think that's probably it. Oh, this one too. Hold on, I got to get the die. And then there's this die that you can use to cut out. So you can cut out three different clouds from this particular paper, and then you can use those in your card making. So that's what I did for a lot of the cards that I created today. So I'll set this to the side, and we'll get started with this particular card. So I'm going to make this card, show you how to make this card. And one of the designer papers has this fun little pattern on it. So it has some raindrops on the bottom, and then it has the clouds up on top. So I basically just cut my paper right about here. So I cut it at the size of a standard card. So I just cut it at 5.5 all the way across so that I could cover the entire card front. So that was kind of a fun little thing to do with this paper. So I'm going to start with a piece of white cardstock, and this is basically what it looks like after you cut it at 5.5. So this piece is 5.5 by 4.25, and so you got the clouds on the other side. Good morning, everybody. So I'm just going to adhere this right to my card front. So I want to cover the entire card front basically. So you can get a couple of cards out of that piece of paper. A couple of this style anyway. All right, so we'll put that on there. And then on the bottom, I just added some additional designer paper. So this is the one with the cherries on it. This is just a 1 by 4.25 inch piece. So we'll just add this on the bottom. This is kind of the place where I'm going to put my greeting. And then there's a couple different dies in this set, and I'll show you what they look like. There are these long dies here on the side that you can use to create some fun little scallops for the card. So that's what I did here. Oh, and I cut it a little short. Well, we'll have to fix that. We'll have to fix that. But basically, you cut that die into a piece of white cardstock. Apparently, I was thinking I was going 4 inches instead of 4 1/4. But you know what? We'll fix it right now. We'll just cut this right in half so that I can run it from corner to corner. So basically, you could start with a 4 1/4 inch long piece, or if you start with a little shorter piece, then just cut your piece in half, like I'm going to do right here. But this makes a fun little scallop that you can put on your card to decorate it. So this will work just fine. I got a little hole there, but that's okay because we're going to put our greeting right over the top of that. And I basically just stamped my greeting on a scrap piece of paper, and then I just put it in my paper trimmer and just cut it out. I didn't try stamping it on a small piece of paper. So, all right. Well, there. Now we fix that. See how you can fix things? Let me fix my thing here. There we go. All right, so that's basically that. And then I just took one of those clouds that I cut out from the designer paper, and we'll add this with a couple dimensionals. Oh, my dimensionals are stuck here. So that's going to get popped up there. And might as well do that right away. I'll put this right about here. And then I have another little cloud that I just cut out from some white cardstock. So I love the stitching on these clouds. I think it's a lot of fun. So for this one, I'm just going to add a couple of dimensionals like down on the bottom, the part where it's not going to be hanging over onto the other cloud. So we'll just add a little dimensional there. We'll add a little bit of glue here because this part is going to hang over onto the other cloud. And then for the last little bit of decorating that I did, I actually used some of the images in this set. So let me grab it here. Yeah, thanks for it was a pretty good fix. I thought, uh-oh, I cut that too short. All right, so I used some of these little flowers in here. So there's a little sun image and a couple little flower images that you can use to make these bright and cheerful cards. So little tip for you, I just stamped these. So this is Granny Apple Green. This color is Petal Pink. And I just stamped them on a scrap piece of paper, and then I cut them out using the coordinating dies in the set. And what I do is I just kind of lay the stems across the flower, the bottom part of the flower, and then I just use a dimensional to attach the stem. It's a little bit easier. I'll just add another dimensional there. And then this time I think I'll add it on the other side because it looks like I have more room on the side. And I just added a little flower right on that side of the card. And then on the inside, you can just stamp a little flower. So I'll stamp one on the inside here just so that you can see it. So there's just this little image here. I used a little bit of Granny Apple Green. Let's move that up so I don't knock it on the floor. So you just stamp your little leaves and your little stem. And we'll take our little tulip here and some petal pink. And then you can just add this right on top. So it's really cute, really a cute little set. All right, and then I added some designer paper on the inside of this one, and I'll certainly do that on the inside of this one. So that is the first card that I have to share with you. So we'll put that to the side. And then the second one, hopefully I cut this one correctly because I won't be able to fix it the same way. Oh, let's turn this here so you guys can see it. So this is the card that will create, and again, it's just a bunch of little die cut shapes, and you just create a little scene on the front of the card. So just scooch this down a little bit. We'll move this out of the way so I have a little bit of room. There we go. Okay, so hopefully I cut this one correctly. I did. Okay, good. So let's start with this one. So this time I just took a piece of Granny Apple Green and I used one of these dies to just create this little scallop shape. So I kind of started with a little 2-inch piece and then just laid this across and cut out this little scallop piece. And then I just stamped my greeting on it because I thought it made a nice little, I guess, element on the bottom of the card to kind of make it look like grass. So I'm just going to pop this up. This is just going to go right on the bottom of this card front. So this is just the standard card. It's a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches when closed. So we'll pop this up. And then we'll add our clouds on the top and our little sun. So I cut out another cloud shape from that designer paper. Then I cut out some little white clouds from some white cardstock. And then I created this little sun. And that is one of the images in this particular stamp set. So you can stamp the sun and then there's a coordinating die for cutting it out. So basically what I like to do is I like to lay out my design here. So I'm gonna put a little glue here and we're gonna tuck this right behind the cloud. And then we'll tuck this one over on this side, this little white cloud. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue here. Let's turn it a little bit. So I kind of adhere all the clouds first so that I know that I have room for them all. And then I will add some dimensionals to them and pop them all up. Okay. So you create like a little scene and then you can add dimensionals to the back to kind of hold all these in place. Just overlap these a little bit. All right, I think I added enough. And then this will just go up on the top here. There you go. And then I created some more little flowers. So I showed you how to put them together. So this time I just added the dimensionals right away. But basically I just stamped the stems, then stamped the flower, and I cut them all out with the coordinating dies. And then I just adhered them together with these dimensionals. So we are going to create a little scene here. So let's tuck this one in here. And we're going to tuck it right underneath that little scallop shape that I made. And then we'll put this. And I just used some Daffodil Delight for the sun and for this flower. This one I did in Sweet Sorbet, and then this little flower I did in Petal Pink. So that's it. Isn't that cute? And this little greeting actually does not come in the Bright Skies bundle. So I just thought this greeting from the Everyday Details was perfect. It went really nicely with this particular bundle. So I decided to use that because I wanted a longer greeting. All right, so that is what that card looks like. And then on the inside, again, you can stamp a flower and add some designer paper. So that is the second card. And then this one is just another design for using the flowers. So again, I use that little scallop in the sun. And so there's just lots of different little scenes and little fun ways that you can use these flowers. So these last couple of cards, I'm going to show you, I created 3 cards from using these pieces. So basically I took some designer paper and I just cut it at 5¼ by 4 inches. So both of these pieces are 5¼ by 4. And then I just used different dies from the set. So there's this big die here that you can cut out that cloud. And then there's this smaller cloud, kind of the medium cloud. So I cut the images out of the designer paper, and I'm going to show you what I did. So let's take these little pieces out. So I created 3 cards, and one of the cards uses just this piece. One of the cards uses just this piece, and then the other card uses these 2 little clouds. Because you can't cut out some clouds and then not use the clouds, right? And you have to use the negative space. So the first one, this is the one that I created with this piece. So I just used that cloud shape as a little window, and I just added it to my card front with a couple dimensionals, and then just added some flowers and clouds and a little sun, and then I just cut out these words to create this card. So just kind of a fun way to use up this negative space because you don't want to just throw this away. So that is that card. And then for this one, I did the same kind of thing. So I wanted to use up this negative space. So I just popped it up on a card front, but I added some more designer paper behind it. So I added kind of a large piece of designer paper to my card front, and then I put this piece over the top with a couple dimensionals. And then I just added some, little greetings, more clouds, and a little sun. So it's kind of a fun little card. And then this last one is how I used up the cloud shapes. So I just layered together these cloud shapes and then added a few more cloud shapes and then a little greeting. So I just wanted to share some fun ways that you guys can use these cloud shapes and the negative space that's left over from creating those cloud shapes. So be strategic, I guess, is my message. Be strategic in how you cut out these large cloud shapes because you can use the leftover piece to create some additional cards. All right, so here are the 6 cards that I walked you through a couple of them. So these are the 6 cards, and I will get these out on my blog and have some additional information out there for you regarding how to create these. But I also want to draw your attention to my Wednesday video where I showed you how to take a standard card. So a standard card base is this, just a card that is 4¼ by 5½ inches when it's closed. So I showed you how to take a standard card base and just make a fun fold out of it. So this is the fun fold that I made with this particular paper and with this stamp set. So I did provide the link in the description below this video so that you guys could go out there and check out these 2 fun fold cards. So here's the other one. So that's what it looks like. It's very simple to do. You're basically just cutting a piece off the front of your card, and then you use the piece here to create the flap. So those are the cards that I have been busy making with this particular set. I think it's really adorable. It's the perfect spring set. You can create some really bright and cheerful cards with this particular bundle, and of course with this paper. And so the Sunny Days paper is a Saleabration item, so you can only get it with a qualifying purchase. So with a $50 purchase, you can choose to get the Sunny Days paper, or you can choose to get whatever Saleabration item that you're interested in. So all right, you guys. So I hope you enjoyed all these card ideas. I had a lot of fun with this. And I hope you have a good rest of your day and a great week. And I will see you guys again next week. So take care, everybody.